Let me tell you a story. It's a tale from Cambodia, and it starts, like all the best stories do, with a big problem that needs to be solved.
So the animals saw that humans had a king, and they figured, hey, we need one of those too. The mighty lion, he was chosen to rule the land animals. The great onfish got the seas. But for the birds, well, things got a little complicated. See, you had two candidates, the crow and the owl. And both of them wanted that crown. They started campaigning against each other, getting nasty. The crow warned everyone, look at the owl's huge eyes, he's a beast. And the owl fired right back. The crow is black to the bone, with a black mind to match. Okay, so you might be wondering, why are we starting with a squabble between a crow and an owl? Well, because this simple story, which, by the way, ends with the wise swan being chosen as king, isn't just a fable for kids. It's a piece of what we call cultural heritage. Think of them like this. They're the stories a community tells itself about itself. They get passed down from parent to child, from storyteller to listener, and they basically carry the DNA of a culture, its beliefs, its fears, its wisdom. They're kind of like the blueprint for how a community sees the entire world.
And that's really the crucial point here. These tales aren't just for fun or to get the kids to fall asleep. They are these invisible threads that weave through time, connecting us directly to our ancestors and the world they lived in.
And here's the cool part. Every single culture has them. Let's take a quick trip around the world and see how totally different stories can explore some very, very similar ideas.
So over in Jordan, there's a great story about a young man whose dying father gives him 3 pieces of advice. And the last one is to marry a smart girl, no matter what it costs. This advice sends him on a journey that proves, that wisdom is way more valuable than any inheritance.
Then you hop over to Korea and you find this beautiful tale of 2 brothers. After they harvest their rice, each brother secretly tries to give some of his own share to the other in the middle of the night because he thinks his brother needs it more. Of course, they end up bumping into each other in the dark, and it reveals this incredible mutual love and generosity. And then from Russia, there's a story about a hen whose rooster starts choking on a bean. To save him, she has to ask the cow for milk, but the cow sends her to the master for grass, who then sends her to the smith for a scythe. It's this whole chain of tasks that shows how the entire community has to pitch in to solve a problem.
Now, what's so fascinating is that it doesn't matter if the story comes from Jordan or Korea or Russia, you see the same core values shining through. These stories are like mirrors, held up to all of us, reflecting the lessons we all need to learn about kindness, about courage, and about looking out for each other.
For centuries, these stories were told around a fire or passed down by word of mouth. But today, technology is giving us these incredible new ways to experience these echoes from the past.
So, how do you do it? How do you move a story off the page or out of your headphones and plant it right back into the real world? How do you connect a narrative to a specific physical place? Well, believe it or not, this is not a new idea at all. Think about ancient pilgrimages. When early Christians walked the Via Dolorosa in Jerusalem, they'd stop at these specific stations to tell the story of what happened right there, on that spot. The story was literally baked into the landscape. They were adding this invisible oral layer to a physical space. Today, we have a super high-tech version of that, sound walks. You use your phone, and a GPS-triggered audio file starts playing as you walk through a specific location. You're not just looking at a historic site anymore. You're hearing its story, its voice, right as you stand there.
The writer Jeremy Haidt puts this perfectly. He said this, "With this kind of tech, history isn't just stuck in a book, it's right there where it happened, just waiting for you to listen. The world itself becomes a library."
So that's sound, which is powerful. But the tech doesn't stop there. Listening is one thing, but what if you could actually see the past?
Just look at this comparison. With a traditional guidebook, you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting, right? You're trying to picture what a rune used to look like. But with an augmented reality guide,
Your phone or a pair of smart glasses does the work for you, bringing history to life right in front of your eyes. It's a total game changer.
So what is augmented reality, or AR? Basically, it overlays digital information, like a 3D model of an ancient building, right onto your view of the real world. It doesn't transport you somewhere else. It just enhances the reality that's already there. Just picture this. You're at the Žiž Charter House in Slovenia, which today is mostly ruins. You put on a pair of smart glasses and, whoa. Suddenly, the crumbling walls rise up. The monastery rebuilds itself all around you. Through AR, you can actually visualize the deep story of a place, and it makes your imagination work in a whole new way. It's an unbelievably powerful tool for feeling history.
So, whether we're talking about a folk tale that's been told for 1,000 years or a digital ghost brought back to life with AR, why do these stories matter so much anyway?
Well, here's the bottom line. These stories are our connection to who we were. They carry the most essential lessons about how to be good people. They build bridges between different cultures by showing us just how much we all share. And now we have these incredible new tools, not just to preserve the stories, but to amplify their power, making them more vivid and more accessible than ever before.
So I'll leave you with this one thought. Every family, every community has its own tales. Stories of bravery, of silliness, of hardship, of love. They're your own personal cultural heritage. So, what are yours?